Okay, for Google Forms, we're starting off in our drive, so you just go, let me see if I can make this bigger. Let me see. Why can't I? Okay. Well, anyway, you go to your drive, right? So you click on this thing, go to drive, and then you need to make a folder here. So like I made a folder for physics, and then I also have one for advanced plant and soil. So you just right click and then it'll say new folder, and then you can title it whatever you want. And in those folders, I made a separate folder for my different classes. So I made it for my 1A and then my 3B for physics, and you would just make that for each one. So then when you're ready to do a Google form, you go to the little thing, you scroll down until you see forms. Okay, so I see forms. Blank, you click on a blank one. Okay, and then you just title it whatever you want. So in the title area, I wish I don't know how to make this bigger. You can make the screen as big as you want. I just don't know how to do it. So I'm just going to move it around so you can see. Okay, so let's say I named it the same thing, right? Okay, so there's my form. I make my form, right? You can add pictures. You can have it be multiple choice. Don't forget, the first question, always have it be the kid's name. That way it makes it easier. So it'll automatically say short answer. Make sure that you click required so that you can know that the kid is going to have to answer the question. Give me a second. And then in the settings, okay, I always collect email addresses, okay, response receipts, restricted to WISD people only, and then limit to one response. In presentation, you can show the progress bar so the kids can know how many questions they have to go or how many they've done, and then shuffle the question order so that way if they are calling each other to work on it, their questions are going to be in the different order. So I always select those. And then you can make it a quiz so that it'll automatically grade it for you. I'm not sure if this works. I tried it one time in class and it wasn't working very well, but turn on locked mode. So if the kids are using Chromebooks connected to the school stuff, I think, they're not allowed to open other screens to help them look for the answers. But it may not work, so I'm not going to do it. And then you can have the correct answers either come out as soon as they submit it or after manual submission. So you'd have to go in and review and then go ahead and submit their or release their grades. And when you do that, they can see, you can decide what they want to see. So either the missed questions, correct answers, or point values. If you don't want them to see anything, you don't have to, you can deselect all of these and they won't see any of that. So then you just click save. You add another question. So here you type in your question, calculate density if volume is 2 liters and, well, I don't even remember how to calculate density. Density equal mass divided by volume. There you go. And mass is 1 kilogram. Okay, so there's your question. You can have it either be a short answer if you want, so they have to actually type in like an answer. Or you can make it multiple choice. If you do multiple choice, it makes it a lot easier because then you can go in. So you put your answer choices, right? And then you can actually go in and put the answer key. So you'll select answer key, how many points you want the question to be worth, let's say 5, and then you click the correct answer and you click done. And then you can go ahead and add more questions there. That way, once the kids submit it, it grades it for you. You just have to go and look to see what grade they got. So that's the form. So let's say you made it, right? And you're ready to save it. So the way that I do this is I select the folder. It goes to your drive. So then you go to physics and then you decide which class you're going to save it in. So let's say I'm going to save it in my 1A, and then I click move here. Okay. So it'll move that. So if I go to my drive and I go to physics and I go to 1A, okay, I see that form that I just went ahead and made. So now you right click it, make a copy of it. Okay, you have to rename it. you can rename. I just, so that it doesn't say copy of. Okay. And then you can move it to the other folder. So you're still in 1A, you go back. Now you're in physics, you go to your 3B, and then you just move here. So if I go to my drive, and I go to physics, and I go to my 3B, it'll be there. So then when you're ready to do the Google Classroom assignment, let's say I'm going to make the assignment in my 1A. So I click 1A, I go to classwork, I say create assignment. I title it whatever I want. Let me see, let me move this. So I can title it whatever I want, right? Okay, you make your instructions, and then here you click add. If it was a link, then you would just copy and paste the link here. If it was a file, like on your USB or saved to your computer, you would just go, you'd find the file. If it was a YouTube video, you can find the YouTube video. But if it's a Google Drive assignment that you've made, like the form, you go to add and then drive. You go to my drive, physics. So here's my physics folder. This is my 1A, so I'm going to my 1A. And then you just find that form that you added. That way, whenever your kids answer it, it's only kids from your 1A that'll be in that form. So then you go ahead and you select your topic, your due date, whatever you want to do. You click assign. Okay. And when you're ready to see their grades, okay, you go back to your drive. So drive. When you're ready to grade the assignment, you click on, you find the assignment, so my 1A. You open up, let me see. You open up the form that you just did, and then you're going to click on responses. And then so it'll tell you how many students have responded. You can stop accepting it. So after it's the due date, you can stop accepting it and it won't let the kids answer anymore. So if I go back to another one that I did with my kids, let's say specific heat calculations number 1. Okay, so this is one that I gave them earlier this week. I can see that 16 of my 1A kids have responded, which is actually pretty good. I go to the responses. You can look at the total average, so what their average grade is. You can see it by individual email. Okay, you can see what their score is. They have not seen what their score is yet because I haven't released it yet because I don't want them to be able to cheat. Okay, but I can see under the name response, I can see who's turned it in. So if I go to individual, okay, I can see that this is Juan's grade. Okay, so this is Juan, and he got 105 points out of 105 points. And then I move to the next one, Giovanna, she got 105 out of 105. Jacqueline got 45 out of 105. So you can go through all of them. Okay, and as you're going through their scores and writing down, you can release the score. That way they know what it is that they got on the assignment. And it'll also tell you their email, but their name will not come out if you don't put this as the very first question on the form. So you always want to make sure that you put that, and then you make sure that you require for that question to be answered here, because then they're not going to put the name and you're going to have to figure out based on their email who that particular student is. And then so once, let's say, for this particular one, I think I made it for Monday, March the 30th, to be able to answer it then. You can stop it at 4 o'clock or whatever time you've set it for, and that way they won't be able to answer it after that time. Hope this helps.